So I just get a notification from the CME group, which I subscribe to their notifications just to see if there's anything worthy of, you know, maybe like a margin hike coming, that kind of thing. I'll know in advance. And one of the things they sent out, metals, gold futures contract broke, I guess, the world record as of 2 days ago. I guess the data came out now, but as of the 29th of this month, which is May 2012, it broke the record for volume trading. So there has been record trading volume in gold, and simultaneously record low for treasury bonds, treasury bills. And I believe that number percent-wise was 1.56, I think. Anything under 2 pretty much signals that there's no recovery. The stock market sucks, and you can try to fake it all you want. That's a flight to safety, basically. But at the same time, the prices go down, the interest rate, excuse me, goes down as that flight to safety happens. So we have, on one hand, gold futures trading breaking all known records. So there's a lot of action in the gold market, basically. And then we have the opposite basically occurring as far as the economic situation is occurred, or is, as far as the economic situation is concerned. 1.56, it's either 5.6 or 6.5, either doesn't matter, percent yield on treasuries. Now, that is the telltale sign that there is no recovery, there never was a recovery, there can't be a recovery, and there won't be a recovery. So anytime I don't care if news comes out next week or next month, oh, housing up, you know, 0.5% above expectations, oh, it must be a recovery. No, it's not. Nothing goes straight down. There's always little blips back up. Same thing when something's skyrocketing. It doesn't skyrocket straight up without doing this a little bit. So why would we have record-breaking, all known records, highest level ever, trading in futures contracts, basically volume on that market? And again, it's paper gold, but nonetheless, that's what people are after, at least this day and age, because they don't recognize physical gold is going to be the key. They're just in it to make money and to capitalize on it right now. Having said that, they're still after it because it's gold, one way or the other. You know, an underlying asset of that piece of paper is the gold. Little do they know, if they ever demand delivery, they might be in trouble trying to get that delivered, just like Gerald Celente with MF Global and whatnot. So this is a clear sign to me that there's absolutely no recovery. Never was. I mean, as if I needed this sign to tell me that. I mean, really, did I really need that? Did you really need this sign of gold trading and the absolute record-breaking low interest rate or yield on the treasury bonds to tell you that? No, I don't think you did. But because it took place, of course I'm going to tell you about it. And they only started keeping track of treasury yields back in 1962. So anything prior to 1962, there's no data for. So having said that, it's the lowest treasury yield we have on record going back as far as 1962, because we can't go back any further than that. And to tell you the truth, it doesn't matter. It means absolutely nothing. So you see that? The number, again, when they have pulled all the cards out, just like Gerald Celente says, when they've done everything they can do to try to hide the facts of where there is no recovery, the bankers getting bailed out, them not going to jail, them getting away scot-free for doing things, when they realize too many people are catching on and they can't stop what's taking place anymore, they can't really put it off too much longer, they take us to war. That is what always happens in history. That's what history shows us. They always take you to war. So, is it any of surprise right now that I'm hearing today about Obama questioning possibly sending in 5,000 armed monitors, or people that are monitoring the Syrian situation, because of fears that Al-Qaeda and or other terrorist groups, get ready for this, here's the punchline, may get their weapons of mass destruction from Syria. We can't risk the bad guys, other bad guys, going into Syria and getting the WMDs. Raise your hand if you remember George Bush Jr., just the last president. Iraq's got WMDs. Iraq's got WMDs. That's why we're going in there. Turns out they didn't have any. And it turns out that Shell, Exxon, and the other one got the oil contracts in Iraq. Not just some oil contracts. It got the oil contracts. The king of the crop. Those oil contracts. And it was within a day to 2 days, I remember this clearly, that when that took place and they got those things, signed on the dotted line, all right, we're producing these oil fields, our guys in America, you know, our American companies and our pals over in Britain. When that was a done deal, it was not 1 to 2 days later. I can't remember if it was 24 hours or the next day. It was either 1 or 2 days later. Obama made his announcement, we're pulling out of Iraq and such date, time frame, and this and that. And allegedly we've pulled out of Iraq, yet we're still kind of there. And anybody who thought they were getting pulled out of Iraq actually is still over in the Middle East, whether it be in Afghanistan or Pakistan or somewhere else. They haven't actually come home. Those who have come home do what they always do. They come home and then they go back and they switch out with other groups, you know, or soldiers or whatever. Nothing's changed. So if you expect any change to come, if he gets reelected, you can keep the change he gave you last time with his change we can believe in. You can keep that change too. And if you think Romney will bring change, you got a surprise coming for you too. And I honestly think that if Romney somehow gets the nod, he wins Republican president, whatever, it'll be the final thing for everybody in America, or at least the mass majority of Americans, to finally realize once and for all, man, there really is no difference between the left and the right, or the Democrats, Republican. Man, nothing's changed. It's actually even worse now that I thought George Bush was bad, and then Obama came along. Holy crap, things got worse. There's no way it could get any worse. And then Romney came around, another Republican, to switch out the Democrat, and it's even worse. The bottom line is, it doesn't matter who takes over unless it was Ron Paul. All of this crap would stop immediately. But that's not going to happen, as we know. If he was to get the nod somehow, and I'm already reading the news today, oh, Romney's got this in the bag, these delegates are his. And then I look at some other alternative media, even local media, not mainstream, but local Fox, or maybe not Fox, but one of the local stations, their investigative report, I just watched it today. We're not sure why they're declaring Romney the winner ahead of it. These are not delegates that are guaranteed to be his. So why are they saying he got 100 and something delegates that sealed the deal for him? He actually does not technically have them. And if he does, maybe that will happen next, but he doesn't have them now, so we're not sure why they're saying he has them. Obviously, they want to let everyone think it's a done deal, give up, he's already won, settle down. When in fact, every time I keep thinking that, I keep seeing, oh, more delegates went to Ron Paul. Oh, even more delegates that weren't supposed to go to Ron Paul went to Ron Paul. So if he were to win, you could be rest assured he'd be assassinated again. There'd be some patsy, another JFK situation, this bad guy that was an Obama supporter, or maybe a Romney supporter, or whoever. The guy's got mental problems, he's going to go to the mental ward. And then the rest of us say, well, there goes our hero, taken out by this retarded guy. And since this guy's retarded, I can't be that mad because he's got problems in the head. So, darn it, I guess we'll just go back to the old system of an oligarchy where they rule over us and our freedom gets thrown away even further. I do not believe for 1 second that if Ron Paul was assassinated, that this time, with enough people being awake to the level and understanding the games that the CIA and groups like that play in killing presidents and other people, I don't think that that Ron Paul supporters, and not necessarily just Ron Paul supporters, but people who recognize what just took place, if he were to get assassinated, I don't think they would sit idly by like they did with JFK. I don't think that would happen this time. And coincidentally, Department of Homeland Security is already on standby waiting for any kind of event like that with their new 450 million rounds of ammunition and their brand new bulletproof checkpoints that are being built as we speak. By the way, doesn't Homeland Security, Homeland as in stays in America? Yeah, that's true, they are. They're here. They're not out fighting. No, they're not. They're on our soil. Our guys, right? Why do they need bulletproof checkpoints? I mean, maybe if we were in Iraq somewhere, and we were, you know, again, in the Middle East, and we went after Syria, we got to set up shop in Syria next, we might need those checkpoint booths over there. But in America, why do we need bulletproof checkpoint booths? And at the same time, if that's the case, which it is, because it's already been shown on their website that they had an order fulfilled specifically for those, and the 450 million rounds of ammunition, 9mm, I believe, either 9mm or 40 caliber, one or the other. That means they, the government, must know something's coming in advance of the rest of us, and they're preparing in advance for something. Like, in other words, the government is a prepper. People laugh at preppers when you say you're a prepper. Oh, you're an idiot. But the government is actually a prepper, and has been prepping for something that appears to be revolutionary or Civil War-like, yet, man, I don't hear any gunshots in my neighborhood. I haven't turned on the TV today and heard any Civil War or revolution. That sounds pretty damn far-fetched, so that can't be true. Correct. Sounds good, but why did they buy 450 million rounds of ammunition? And why did they buy bulletproof checkpoint things? I guess I'll have to let you guys decide that. Let the sheeple figure that one out. But I know one thing, I don't have to get involved, and I will not get involved. And if I were to lose my job, and the only job left on the face of the earth was to go fight in the military to bring home a paycheck, I can assure you with 100% certainty, I don't give a crap. I will not, under any circumstances, be doing that. Thank you very much. I gotta go.